afternoon and welcome to the Morgan Firestone Arena. It's playoff time here in Ancaster as the Avalanche and Welland Junior Canadians are going to face off for a best-of-7 series. I'm Eric Howlett. Joining me is Hayden Howlett. And tonight seems to have a pretty good atmosphere, a big crowd, huge anticipation as the father and mother of Luke Zupan dropping the puck for their late captain. A great little piece for them tonight. Do you think that might give them a little motivation tonight?
Of course, a little bit of motivation for the Ancaster Avalanche. Luke Zupan unfortunately passed away, and that's definitely going to weigh on the Avalanche a little bit tonight, but that'll also give them a lot of motivation to win for Luke, and they're going to try to dedicate a round one victory, hopefully, for number 11.
We know that the Avalanche are a favorite in this series. How do you expect this series to play out?
Well, I expect it like a lot of people mostly expect it to be. The Avalanche are the better team of the two. We expect it to be a lot of offense. These games are always tight. Avalanche edging the Welland Canadians in the actual regular season in wins. But, like I said, these games are tight. These games are going to be close. And it should be a really fun series to watch.
Hanaka, this was a still shot. Great save early from Charles Grimard after a turnover from the Canadians. And already the pace has started to look pretty good as the Avalanche are offside now. Playing it back up, throwing it across. Tanner McEachern just misses the aerial pass. Raposo out to Hadanaka. Benjamin Hadanaka cutting through a few players and dumps it to the corner in order to change. Eric Nelson passes it up. Got into the skates of Anthony Glick, who gets around the checking Bridgewater. Ben Woodhouse dumps it up into center ice. Nelson tops it over to Bullard. Giannini gets bodied. A great play from Ben Woodhouse, and Moretto dumps it right in to the glove hand of Ryan Dugas, who, as we all expected, was getting the start tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't a very big surprise to see that Ryan Dugas was in it. He was playing for the best goaltender for the Avalanche. Not to downplay the efforts of Tanner Shepard, who was a very good goaltender. Although, as you saw down the stretch, Dugas started to get more and more starts as they were basically splitting the season before that. And that's where the big advantage is going to be. Both teams have some very good offense, but the Avalanche have a better goaltender in Ryan Dugas, as his save percentage was top 5 for most of the end of the season.
Luke Croucher spinning around. McPhee got dumped in front of the net and there was no call. Bernecki spins off and passes it down. Macklin McPhee to Tanner Bernecki. Bernecki at the circle across. Oh, at the side of the net. A huge chance, but it was missed by Luke Croucher. Bernecki passes one that hit the skates of Anthony Gorgon. It's Tanner Bernecki who's in his own end to retrieve the puck.
Oh man, how they just missed scoring on that one. They had Grimard dead to rights, and unfortunately for the Avalanche, unfortunately for the Canadians, it just goes wide.
Bernecki passes it up, tipping it is McKinney. Spinning around with the puck. The Canadians put it in as Hobbs dumps it in. Robertson plays it along the boards. Yanni Skropoulos battling hard with the puck, and he's got a partial break as Liakakos is trying to answer the great pass to Bro, and a save from Grimard. A huge save as Bro had to tap in, but he stretched out his leg and robbed him.
That's a great pass from Yanni Skropoulos, and Bro had him dead to rights, and once again Grimard playing really well in net early.
Simpson had a shot that was blocked by Matt Hobbs, and it's taken out by the Canadians, who go for a change. Jordan Simpson passes it across. Robertson dumps it and it's tipped further, but the Canadians grab it and dump it back to Dugas. Coming out of his own end, Hadanaka just barely able to get it out, and he's got some speed. Tries to dance around a player, and he can't seem to keep going as Josh Sherratt angled him out. Great kick in from Dirk Stadig. Pass across Canada, can't find it. There's two players searching for it, and it's pushed away by the newcomer Nathan Galen.
And that was an unfortunate breakup of the play, as if Van Lunen Kyle Kennery both go for the puck. Neither of them know which one's going to take it, but Van Loon, being a lefty on that play, he tries to get the shot, but Kyle Kennery, he's a right-hand shot. He would have had a perfect opportunity to just take it and rip it to the back of the twine. Unfortunately, a little miscommunication, and neither player really could see each other coming, and the play ends up going by the boards. But the Avalanche have been doing a really good job with their speed and lots of breakout passes that have been really working well for them.
Van Loon has the puck after a dumping from Kennery. Raposo shot blocked by Hadanaka in front. Raposo looking for the shot. Hadanaka spin shot blocked. Great block, and it's dumped out. Liam Anderson got in the lane of Hadanaka, who tried to wind up. Derek Raposo waits for his players to get in position. Just passing the 4-minute mark, and it's a bit of a late hit that came from Liam Van Loon and Eric Nelson, and Noah Blakely goes after him.
That was a little bit of a questionable hit from Van Loon. It looked like he stuck maybe a little bit too much of his leg out, but no call coming, and as you said, it was a little bit late. He's playing with an edge tonight, which can be good, but Van Loon's skill set is more towards the puck side, and you really want to see him dance with the puck and not dance with another player.
Ben Woodhouse wins the puck cleanly to McPhee. McPhee off the skates of his own player. Backhand in front, and Woodhouse on a turnover from Grimard tries a backhand in.
He and Hobbs are getting into it.
That would have been a double whammy against the Canadians. A turnover and then almost a goal.
Well, it looked like Grimard hesitated for half a second. He had his defenseman right in front of him, and unfortunately he goes to make the play, and I think he towed it just a little bit because of the hesitation and put it right on the stick of Woodhouse, and unfortunately Woodhouse couldn't take a one-timer and rip it in, and he had to take the backhand spinorama, but Grimard once again has to be careful, and he has to be very sharp early on, as that could have easily slipped 5-hole.
Hobbs gets waved out of the circle, and it's won by Woodhouse. McPhee takes a quick shot on goal, but it was blocked by Bisser. Puck tipped away by Noah Blakely, but McPhee is the rover back. Bridgewater passes it off the board indirectly to Woodhouse, who chases, but not quick enough to negate the icing. And Hobbs is going after Woodhouse after that icing.
I don't exactly know what he's so upset about. He may have been caused from that miscue from Grimard, and ever since, because it was Woodhouse and Hobbs going at it, and the captain of the Welland Canadians have got to be careful. He seems to be rather irritated early on in the game, and if you carry that throughout the game, you're more likely to take an irresponsible penalty. That's the last thing that the Welland Canadians want to do. Already the underdog in this playoff series.
I'm not quite sure, but I think I might have saw an extra jab from Woodhouse on that icing call, so that might have been where that might have stemmed from. And that's a blatant slash.
No call though.
Woodhouse lost his stick after Brendan Ryder took a free stab at him.
I'm very surprised that wasn't called. Slack, but it looked like the referees are going to let him play, which can be both good and bad.
And that's the unfortunate part of playoff hockey, is Moretta was behind. He tied up Cabral, and again, a bit of a questionable no call.
Yeah, that could have gone either way, though, so a good non-call from the ref.
Cabral comes right back, dances in on his backhand, and he throws it through the crease of Grimard. Simpson passes it down to Croucher, who lets it go. Moretto stumbles a bit after McPhee tried to go after him, and it's Rylott who just misses it with his skate, and it's an icing against the Canadians.
You can already see a little bit of chippiness from both teams. The Canadians know that they're outskilled in this round, but it doesn't mean they're going to give up. The best thing to do when you know the other team has got more skill than you is to get on the body, and they've been doing that early on. They just have to be careful. There's a line you cannot cross, and we'll see what line the refs let them go past, because as you know, from game to game, depending on the referee, that line could be very close and that line could be very far away. So right now it looks like it's getting further and further away as we still await the first power play of the game.
With Croucher facing off against Grigg. ties him up, falls down. Greg wins the face-off and chips it almost out, and it's Brendan Ryder who has a step, tries to chip it around Simpson with a great active 6 stop. So it's a turnover. Ryder has it, lost it to Blakely, who takes a shot, just missing the high stick, and it's played along the boards by the Avalanche. Josh Sherratt throws it back. Brendan Ryder and Sherratt
took a penalty.
He tried to slash McPhee, ended up getting him, and it's a penalty call as the Avalanche get their first power play of the series.
And the 25s were going at it for a second. I don't blame Sherratt. I'd be very upset too. Macklin McPhee, pretty late after the puck had gone off his stick, he goes for the extra jab, but that's what Macklin McPhee's good at. He's good at playing the body, he's good at being physical, and he's a really good agitator. He did that perfectly, and he draws the first power play of the game for the Ancaster Avalanche. So, grade A shift for Macklin McPhee for all Ken Peroff is concerned.
And those are the players, it's almost like an art for them. They just learn to master.
Yeah, they know exactly how to get under people's skin.
They're exciting. Nice pass. Tries to find Van Loon, but it's a falling play from the Welland Canadian junior players. He almost had a turnover and going the other way, and Van Loon is going in hard against Tanner McEachern. Hadanaka dances, gets around and into the zone. He's got Visser. Visser tries to double on the boards. Blakely can't get there in time as Van Loon dumped Visser as he tried to go after him. Nick Visser throws it all the way down into the Ancaster zone, and Static touches up with almost a minute left in the power play.
And this time they were able to get it out as Noah Blakely was the one who fell over trying to make the play. He could have had a 2-on-1, but the Avalanche haven't had a very good time or easy time breaking in and taking control, and they have just under a minute now to try and correct that.
Luke Crutcher falls down, and Noah Bullard manages to tap it out. Crutcher with some bad edge work.
And that's a bad part of being really speedy. When sometimes those blades, they just won't stay on the ice when you're really quick.
Luke Crutcher can't get the indirect pass, and it's tipped around for the Canadians to dump out once more. 32 seconds left on the power play, and not even much on time on attack for the Avalanche.
And even worse and more alarming, they haven't had a shot on goal in this power play yet.
Croucher manages to get the line, drops to Skropolis. Bridgewater lets Woodhouse take it. It's almost taken over, but Bridgewater has it in the corner. Bridgewater leaves it for Woodhouse. 8 seconds left. Avalanche need a shot. Will it be Woodhouse? He takes it. Stopped by Grimaud. Batted out of the air, but over the net. Shot off the side of the goal from Skropolis, and power play's over. McEachern dumps it out. Coming up the other way is Noah Bullard. Bullard dumps and chases after Skropolis, and now he's going after Woodhouse. Reverses to Skropolis, and Bernecki has it. Bernecki indirectly picking up was Mike Cabral. Cabral just missing a cross-crease pass was Woodhouse, and Derek Raposo has it. Tries to send it out in front, but no one was there for the Avalanche. Poked away by Bowler, and it's a 3-on-2 coming the other way with Merrick Powell. Powell has Raposo defending him. Reverses it. Minovsky loses the puck, and the Avalanche are coming out the other way with Macklin McPhee. McPhee finds Bro. Oh, a save! Charles Grimaud, Harlow, robbery on Bro, who puts his hands on his head.
That reaction says it all. Nick Bro's alone in front. If he's a left-handed shot, he could one-time it, but he's a righty, so he has to take it off his skate. He ends up on the backhand. He shoves it right into the glove. Grimaud never gave up, and he has been superb early on in this first period, not even 10 minutes in, and that's probably the third highlight reel save he's made, and that glove hand has been working wonders so far in this game.
And the second highlight reel save off of Nick Bro. Coming out of the Canadians with Anthony Grigg dumping it down behind the net. Demeski puts it along the boards, and it's recovered by the Canadians with Hobbs. Battling along the boards, Raposo dumps it. Kyle Kennery having trouble as he's battling hard with Josh Sherratt. Canadians still manage to keep it as Demeski throws it back in. Dirk Static reverses. Hadraka tips it to Raposo. Hadanaka with almost 10 minutes left in this first period. Looks for a breakout pass, finds Van Leeuwen, dekes around, falls down on a great back check coming from Liam Anderson. Coming up, Demeski dumps it along the boards and goes for a change. Matt Hobbs coming hard on Derek Raposo. McPhee has it on the other side. Macklin busts in, finds McKinney but loses it. Croucher spins off of the check of Hobbs. Bernecki shot easily into the glove of Charles Grimard. If it's not for him, this game's easily 2-0 for the Avalanche.
2, maybe even 3-0. He's had to make a couple of dandy saves, and he was able to track that one beautifully, and he gloves it down as the Avalanche are putting on a little pressure. But Welland has done a much better job at slowing the Avalanche down. They've been getting it on the forecheck, and those breakout passes are suddenly not working as crisply as they were just 5 minutes ago.
Bernecki slaps it along McKinney, battles behind the net. He gets shoved down by Roberto Moretta, thrown out in front. Croucher, one hand on his stick, side of the goal, and McKinney recovers the puck. Bernecki passes it down low to Macklin. Macklin loses it to Eric Nelson off the side of the goal after a bad bounce off the boards, and finally the junior Canadians get it out.
Almost an indirect pass from the Welland Canadians right to the Avalanche. That would have been a brutal way to start off the game.
Matthew Giannini almost got away with the tripping. A pass over to Eric Nelson. Nelson has Moretto tapping for it off the stick of Dugas behind the net. Giannini can't get the puck and it's thrown back out. Nelson to Moretto. Fumbles with it, throws it down low. Hobbs getting tied up wonderfully, and it's Bernecki who regains the puck. Bernecki looks for Kenner, who runs into Moretto, gives him a shot afterwards as Pyro dumps it over the head of McKinney. Pyro on the boards, and it's called offside by the referee.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first period door prizes are as follows. If you have your tickets, please get
It might be a bit surprising to know that there's only 2 players on this Avalanche team that have been in the playoffs for the Avalanche at least, and that's Hadanaka, who was on the team last year, and Robertson. So they're the only 2 Avalanche players that have playoff experience with the Avalanche.
And that might be the Achilles heel for them. A lot of these guys are rookies. The Avalanche have probably the most amount of rookies in the entire league on their team. And they shocked a lot of people by being as good as they were, setting records with their 38 wins, which they previously held at 36. But they had a 38 win season with a bunch of rookies on their team who outplayed expectations by far. And with no playoff experience, that could be a bad thing, but you have to live and learn, and we'll have to see how the rookies play in this series.
Torn coming the other way, fire shot saved! Burlow had an excellent chance, tried to go short side on Dugas, but he got big and stopped Bullard.
And another rookie in net, Ryan Dugas, making a great save, as both goaltenders for the Avalanche don't have any playoff experience as it is either. So that might be something for the goaltending. They're going to have to be very strong.
And these teams are led heavily by their rookies, as Matthew Giannini for the Canadians, the leading point per game, 50 points, 50 games for the Canadians, whereas the Ancaster Avalanche had Dirk Stadig and Woodhouse both 50 points in less than 50 games for both of them, and then Liam Van Leeuwen, Rookie of the Year for the Avalanche.
Yeah, the Brian Ruppel Trophy. He got 53 points on the year.
So you know that the inexperienced players are the players that you're hoping are going to lead your team, even though they have players like Nick Bro, who's in his final year in the GOJHL, along with Macklin, McPhee, and Yanni Skropla. So those players are hoping to close out this 2017-18 season with hopefully a long run in the playoffs.
And the one award the other award the Avalanche won was the Tom Kelly Memorial Trophy, and that one goes to the Coach of the Year, which Ken Peroff got. That could be a really big blessing, as you need a good coach to help you get through these kind of games.
Backhand out in front, that was a dangerous play. It was a close call for the Canadians, who almost backhanded one in by Brendan Rylett. Hadanaka on the other side. Hadanaka tries to bank it, can't get it through as Josh Schrott had it in his feet. Dirk Stadig fires one blocked by Van Loon, who spins around for it. Versus on Nathan Galen, who falls down. And Van Loon knows how to reverse those hits. He's not afraid to get with the body. Shot from Hatanaka blocked. Raposo blocked again, this time by an Avalanche, and falling backwards to cover the puck was Charles Grimard.
That was an awkward-looking save. It was through a crowd. There's no way he was able to track it perfectly. So when he got to him, he just squeezed that right arm, and he kept it in, and he had to fall back to make sure he didn't drop it. But a great stop by Grimard again, as finally the Avalanche getting some more pressure, as the Welland Canadians have been turning it on the last couple shifts.
Bill Croucher wins another face-off cleanly to Kalen McPhee. He passed out to his brother Macklin, who's waiting at the circles. Finally finds someone to pass to. Croucher has the linesman almost get in his way, ends up ducking around him. McPhee from behind the net. Macklin getting stick check from Nelson, and falling down is Croucher, a tripping call. Again, it was missed by the referee, or just they decided they're not going to call those anymore. As it's spun around, Macklin McPhee off of Eric Nelson in front, and battling is Dawson McKinney. Battling on the boards, McKinney finally gets it loose. The McPhee's playing the puck with each other, and Macklin throws it along the boards. McKinney looking to reverse, but this line has been doing a good job with the pressure in the offensive zone. It's Croucher missing in front off the post, as McPhee almost had a golden opportunity.
What a dominant shift for this line. This Macklin, McPhee, Dawson McKinney, and Luke Croucher line is full of speed, and they have a lot of skill, as that is Grigg that's laying on the ice. He looked like he got a nice slash. So another missed call, this time going against the Avalanche.
It looks like it's going to have to take chopping someone's head off to get a call. Back out in front, Bridgewater reverses down low. Macklin McPhee still on the ice. Oh, that's Cabral. Down low, Cabral has it behind the net. He passes it. Robertson has a puck deflect, chipped out, but it's brought down by Robertson. It's in the feet of Hobbs, and falling down, keeping the puck in on his backside was Woodhouse, and it's tipped back up by the Canadians.
And there are now two sticks laying in the Welland zone. One of them belongs to Grigg that was at center ice after he got slashed, and one of the referees finally picks one of them up. There's still one laying in there. I believe it's an Avalanche stick too.
Jordan Simpson at the blue line, and too hard of an angle, and it's Robertson who has to retreat with the puck. Jordan Simpson into the neutral zone. Yanni Skropoulos battling off a check from Matt Hobbs. 4:34 in this first period. Bro getting around Nick Bisser, bouncing the puck off of a Welland stick, and it's chipped out. It's a 2-on-2, and Powell just misses a pass. Nicholas Bro across to Adam Mayer, tries to find someone, instead throws it off of the goaltender Grimard. Minovsky can't get it out as Johnny Skropoulos keeps him on his feet. Minovsky battling with Skropoulos. Minovsky still can't get it out, so he tries to kick it, and the Canadians finally get it out. Neil Powell dumps it down.
The board play for the Avalanche has been phenomenal so far. Welland is having fits trying to get out of their own zone. They can't get the puck past their own blue line right now.
Barlick spins with a shot, went off the side of the goal, and the Avalanche go after it. Hatanaka battling hard with Barlick. There's three Avalanche battling as Minovsky and Barlick are trying to get that puck loose. Puck's thrown across to Dirk Stadig. He aerials the puck to Roberto Moretto. Moretto gets hit by Hatanaka after dumping it in. McPhee, he's getting pressured. McPhee waiting for his players, finds Hatanaka. Kyle Kennery gets hit by Roberto Moretto after dumping it in. Charles Grimard dumps it across. Some more board players. That seems to be the key ingredient tonight for both teams is the boards. Hadnaka filling in for McPhee, who jumped up at the blue line, and it's Josh Sherratt. Sherratt to Diashivi. McPhee, after it bounces off Diashivi's stick, passes it across and gets it right back. McPhee puts one up, and Bernecki chips one into the neutral zone. Van Loon tries to tap it to Kennery, who was coming up from behind, and he gets threatened by Josh Sherratt.
What a nice open ice hit as Kyle Kennery trying to speed across, but Sherratt followed him the entire way.
Avalanche are offside, so Hadnaka can't touch it, and going for a hit on Moretto was Bernecki, but Moretto fell down, and so did Bernecki over top of him.
Moretto looks a little bent over, and that might have hurt him maybe when Bernecki landed slightly on him, but he looks to be okay.
Might have gotten a little bit of a knee into the ribcage area, but nothing too serious.
No, nothing. He looks to be okay.
Luke Croucher, he's got speed and he's using it. Breaks the line, Macklin McPhee nails Beller, and he goes to the net after Dawson McKinney almost falls on top of Grimard, and once again, no call.
This line has been dominant. They still have every time this line is on the ice, they're in the offensive zone almost the entire shift. And once again, it's like, oh, Luke Croucher with another nice big hit. He's a small guy, but he just nailed Ballard shiver shoulder with that one.
The Avalanche keeping up the pressure with 1:17 left in the first period. It's been a very physical first period as everyone's finishing their checks. They might not be big ones, but they do add up over time.
And you really wear down the opponent if you impose your will physically on them. So it's a great thing to do, but you got to look out because you might also wear yourself down too if you're taking a lot of hits on the same time.
Bridgewater finds Cabral at the other side. Cabral to Woodhouse. Almost didn't get to him when he picks it up. Visser sliding out, it was Demeski, but he can't get it. Cabral tries to find Woodhouse, but it's deflected off the stick of Diashivi. Woodhouse gets tripped up by Nick Visser.
We can see that line is very clearly going in. That was an offside. That was blatantly offside, and it's missed.
Oh! Another one! Charles Grimard!
And Keith Osborne was losing his mind, the head coach for the Welland Canadiens, and I agree with him. Hadanaka kept that in. That was almost a foot offside, and from here we can see it clearly, but the referee must have missed it. But that is another phenomenal save by Grimard. Holy cow, what a save! I can't believe he got that. I thought for sure that was going to be a 1-0 lead.
4 highlight reel saves in just one period. At this rate, he's going to fill an entire highlight reel.
And that would have been a killer for the Welland Canadiens too. There's 34 seconds left, and it should have been 1-0. I still can't believe that didn't go in.
And you could say Grimard just bailed out the referee.
Oh yeah.
I should say the linesman, as that was a blatant offside.
But hey, the game goes on.
And it's all thanks to Charles Grimard, who's having a heck of a first period. Dirk Static has 23 seconds left in the first. Raposo lost his stick, has to go after it in the neutral zone. Van Loon chases after Nelson, but he throws it along. Dirk Static wisely reverses over to Raposo, who's just trying to kill some time. And that should do it as there's 2 seconds left on the clock. And that'll do it for the first period. A high-intensity period full of highlight reel saves from Charles Grimard. Come back and join us for the second period as we hope that this play continues. back to the Morgan Firestone Arena. I'm Eric Howard. Joining me is Hayden Howard as we are about to start in the second period of where the Ancaster Avalanche are facing off against the Welland Junior Canadians. The first period, a lot of physicality, but overshadowed by a terrific first period from Charles Grimard.
Absolutely correct. It was a pretty physical period. The referees were letting a lot of stuff go. There was only one power play, ended up going to Ancaster Avalanche, but Charles Grimard made 2 to 3 10-bell saves, and he was the absolute difference. And the Ancaster Avalanche have to get back onto that. They have to make sure they test him. And if you're a Canadian, right now you don't want to have Grimard play as well as he's playing, because that means you're playing a lot in your own zone. You're giving up high-quality chances, which they did a lot in the first period. So they want to make sure that they test Dugas tonight.
Hobbs gets the puck poked away by Dirk Stadig, but the Canadians end up throwing it around. Hobbs lays the body on Kyle Kennery. Puck along the boards. Dirk Stadig just missing a hit. Bit of a knee-on-knee hit from Tanner McEachern on Dirk Stadig. Liam Van Loon throws it to the other corner. Nick Bisser puts it along the boards behind the net of Grimard to Josh Sherrod. Renecki keeps it in but gets bodied off by Anthony Grigg. Van Loon battling hard with McEachern. Van Loon still trying to get after, but Renecki ends up pitching up at the blue line and keeping it as McPhee has it on the other side. McPhee circles, dumps it back down low for Kyle Kennery. Kennery still with it, getting pinned by Bissell. Avalanche finally get it loose. Cabral tries to find Woodhouse, but it's poke checked beautifully by Noah Ballard. Dumped in on Ryan Dugas, and McPhee puts it off the glass. Iakakos throws it back down into the Avalanche zone. Bridgewater stopped up, lost the puck, and Nick Bisser has it in his own end. Nick Bisser getting hounded by Cabral, and Iakakos has it. Quick touch pass, and the Canadians break out. Giannini gets it poked off his stick, and here comes Cabral. Cabral, great pass from McPhee, but too far ahead was Matthew Bridgewater. Avalanche keeping it at the blue line, tipped by the stick of Nick Bisser. Luke Croucher spins off of Iakakos. Cabral tries to find Croucher, but it's off the stick of Grimard. Coming back out is Brendan Rilett. Giannini, nice move, tries a ditch on Robertson, who fell, but Dugas covers up.
Dawson McKinney, Elwood, Matthew McPhee, Croucher, and as we saw in the first period, that's been the dominant line for the Avalanche tonight. The Avalanche seem to be doing a little bit too much passing. They need to get some shots on goal. That last play that went into the slot, Luke Croucher made a quick little backhand pass, and unfortunately, he just missed making connection with anybody as he was in the slot. Could have tried to take a shot, but he was a little too well covered for that.
Mackling with feet diving to try and get that puck up, but Minovsky keeps it, and it's a hand pass by Minovsky as Bullard touches up. Avalanche got a bit of a lucky break.
Game number 3 of the playoffs will be here next Wednesday, March 7th versus Welland Junior Canadians. Puck drop, 8 p.m.
Croucher facing off against Noah Ballard. Croucher wins the face-off. He's been excellent tonight in the draw. McKinney dumps and chases. Stopped by Grimard. Turnover. McPhee on a great forecheck. Now he has it behind the net.
And here we go. This might be the start to their shift. They're already hard on the puck.
Powell turns the puck over, and Eric Nelson gets pressured by McPhee. Powell ends up reversing and can't grab it. Croucher dumps it right back down as it was tipped off the stick of Roberto Moretto.
These guys, this line is relentless on the forecheck. That's been the bread and butter, and that's why they've been getting so many offensive chances, as they have so much speed to burn, and they've been doing a really good job of getting on the puck.
Luke Croucher just offside as Dawson McKinney couldn't keep his feet on side. And as you mentioned, that's been their best line tonight. They're not only a physical line, but they also have speed with the help of Luke Croucher on that line.
Yeah, and you notice that even when they lose the puck, it gets dumped back in. They have a lot of good pinching defensemen. Bernecki is outstanding, especially at doing that. I've seen at least 4 or 5 times in this game already, especially in the first period, where he kept the puck in at the line. And when that puck gets turned over, they have so much speed that the Canadians' defense...
And as if on cue, Bernecki with a big hit on the Mesky.
And as I was saying, like, that line gets back so quickly that they blink, and the Welland Canadians have like 3 Ancaster Avalanche forwards right on them. So if they just keep at that, they're eventually going to score a goal. As Lamar, as we said, is the only reason there is no score on the board right now.
Bro gets a cross-crease pass from Scropolis, and Adam Mayer tries to chase after, dumps it around the boards. Scropolis tries to find McPhee, who gets a pass off the boards. Nick Bro leaves it for Scropolis. He's at the circles, reverses to Bro. Bro to Scropolis. Finds Kalen McPhee. McPhee tries to protect and couldn't touch the puck, and he has to touch up. McPhee just missing the stick of Yannis Scropolis, and it's an icing against the Ancaster Avalanche.
Pretty good start to the period for the Avs right now. Once again, as they've been doing so far throughout the entire first period and the first 5 minutes of the second period, they're getting really quickly on the defensive end. Canadians and the Welland Canadians just haven't had much time on attack, if any, in this period so far. And Dugas, I don't even think has faced a shot so far 5 minutes into this second period. So if Welland wants a chance to win this game...
Bro just got dumped all on the boards by Tanner McEachern.
He's a big boy. It's hard to do against a guy like Bro.
Shot deflected. Adam Mayer tries to find Bro. He splits the D. He's got an outside step. He gets hooked, and it's a penalty coming up.
Well, if he that goes. And Dugas going to the bench takes a little slide, but no penalty shot call. It was a really close one. It could have gone either way with the penalty shot, but what a great outlet pass. And Nick Bro, one hand on his stick, tries to make the play. But it's going to be another power play for the Avalanche.
Just shows you how strong of a man he is. One hand on his stick. He's not the tallest, but he's built.
Oh, he's a rather big guy. And for a big guy, he's got some pretty decent foot speed. He's not going to outspeed a guy like Luke Croucher, but he definitely has some maybe unwarranted speed that other players don't really see.
And we can't forget to mention that little Michael Jackson move by Ryan Dugas at the blue line, trying to get back for the empty net.
Yeah, he had a little bit of difficulty going to the bench.
Hadenak at the circles, finds Mayer, tries to find someone out in front, and it's batted out. As before the regular season ended, this power play was atrocious, having 8 power play opportunities against Thorold in this building, and they managed to convert on none of them.
Yeah, 8 or 9, maybe even 10. It was getting to the point we couldn't keep track anymore. They just hadn't got anything, and their power play hasn't been very good this last month, and they really need to fix it. They've already had a power play tonight, and it wasn't very good at all. They had 1, maybe 2 shots, and they barely had any zone time.
Van Loon, nice play, and it chips it over the net as he did a little tuck move around the defender Moretto. Van Loon to Static. Takes a shot, deflected out in front, and the Canadians dump it out on the nice block from Bisser.
You can give the Canadians a lot of praise. They're blocking shots very beautifully, and that's been very difficult for the Avs.
Puck ends up into the glove hand of Charles Grimard, and it's a whistle from the linesman.
That was a nice little pass from Van Loon. He finds Woodhouse. He's alone on the right side. He doesn't have much speed going in, so he can't exactly go to the net. But a nice shot right to the breadbasket. Grimard makes a pretty easy save.
Just over a minute gone in this second power play attempt from the Avalanche. Bridgewater wins a scrum draw. Tanner Bernecki at the blue line, pass off to Hadenak, or that Croucher that was, and he just misses a shot.
They're both similar in stature. You can see why that mistake would be made.
Scropolis backhands the puck off the glass, dumped back up, but it's partially blocked from Scropolis, but he can't keep it in. Benecki crosses center. Croucher finds Scropolis, tries to find someone else in front. Another big save off of Bridgewater again from Grimard.
That right pad is another thing that's working magic. That left hand glove on that right pad.
8 seconds left as Croucher fakes a slap shot. Nelson forced him to pass it. One last shot opportunity doesn't come and the power play's over. Back out in front, backhand into Charles Grimard as Croucher couldn't finish.
If Grimard is going to play like this the entire series, this might be bad for the Avalanche. He has been so good through this almost period and a half now. I don't know how the Avalanche are going to beat him. Every shot finds Grimard. If they can't just find a lucky one to beat him, that's what it's going to have to take at this point. A lucky one is just going to have to be a dirty, grimy goal. That's the only way they're going to have to be able to beat Grimard at this point.
And they're going to have to learn how to part in the power play goals, as you're not going to get too many power play opportunities in the playoffs.
That is definitely going to have to improve.
Dawson McKinney circles around. Pass it down low to Macklin McPhee. This energy-building line is back out at it again. McPhee misses on a turnaround pass, but finds McKinney. Gets into the slot, easy pad save for Grimard. Raposo stepped up and McPhee back on it.
And as you see, Cabral is actually out there in place of Croucher, who was just out there in the power play. So we'll see how that changes that line chemistry.
And a big hit coming from Macklin McPhee. Got a piece of him, but enough to turn it over, and McPhee looks like he's getting a penalty for it.
And that's unfortunately where the line is crossed by Macklin. He's, like we said, he's a physical guy. He likes to get under the skin, but he got a little too overzealous with his hit, and he's going to get, it looks like a boarding call.
The Welland Canadians are going to get their first power play opportunity of the series, and this could be a golden opportunity for them to strike, as they have not had much momentum.
Momentum's been all with the Avalanche right now, but one goal, you get the lead, that could easily change the way this game is played.
Matt Hobbs wins the puck cleanly. Moretto passes it down low to Giannini. To Moretto, shot right into Dugas. Another big save from Dugas.
And he needed that. He needs to be sharp. He hasn't seen a shot most of this period, and it comes on a blast from the point from Moretto and a couple of rebound shots. And now it was McEachern right in front who took the rebound, and he got it with his pad and maybe even got a little bit of glove on it. So good stop for Dugas early on in the power play. Simple little things that the Avalanche weren't doing, Welland is doing, and it seems to be working early in the power play.
Hobbs getting waved out as McEachern takes his spot. Puck won by Hadanaka. He's also had a pretty good face-off draw tonight. Oh, that puck hit the side of the post.
I think that went off the stick. That was close.
Charles Grimard was just waiting for that puck to just miss him, and it got a little closer than we expected.
That would have been a bad goal to give him.
Roberto Moretto elects for the dump and chase as Matthew Hobbs comes crashing into the boards, ends up playing it down. Multiple players battling on the ball.
And Raposo Bryce Robertson just took a penalty.
Giannini passed off. Moretto tries to find McEachern for a second opportunity at a goal, but he fans it, and the Avalanche are going to have 45 seconds of 5-on-3 to kill off.
And that was Bryce Robertson battling in the corner, and I believe he was battling with Brendan Ryland in the corner. It may have been him, or it could have been Alexander Demeski, but he was battling in the corner, and another overzealous play. He goes and he just gives him a shot from behind, completely undisciplined, and the captain goes to the box. So 5-on-3, this could turn into a 2-0 game if the Avalanche can't kill it off.
Adam Mayer taking the face-off draw. Hobbs wins it to McEachern as they have 4 forwards on the defensive end right now. McEachern passes it across. Liam Anderson has Giannini at the other side, pass it to McEachern instead. Shot blocked, and Kieran McPhee backhand spinner ramble puts it down into the Welland end. Liam Anderson over to Giannini. Giannini passes it, a quick one over to DiChiavi. DiChiavi over to Liam Anderson. Anderson, DiChiavi. Anderson, Giannini, shot right into Dugas, who was scored to Giannini who had nothing to shoot at.
Dugas has a lot of traffic in front of him. There were 2 Canadians right in front of him as the Avalanche are just setting up the perimeter, trying to keep everything to the outside, and for the most part they're doing a fairly good job of it. And they're just letting Dugas see the puck. They want him to they want to get out of his way, because Dugas is, when he can see the puck, he's on his game. You're not going to beat him with those kind of long shots. So that's what they want to do, and you just got to hope that he can keep all the rebounds, and he's done a fairly good job so far.
Face-off won by the Junior Canadians, and it just missed off of a tip from the stick of one of the Canadians. Moretto takes a shot, tipped out in front by Noah Blakely. 9 seconds up on the 5-on-3. DiChiavi finds Moretto. Shot, single in front, they jam away at it, and the 5-on-3, now 5-on-4 for the Avalanche. 40 seconds left. DiChiavi plays it to Blakely, who's behind the net. DiChiavi spins off of the check of Dirk Static. Ballard to Moretto, and it's picked up at the breakaway, short-handed. Here he comes. Redhouse solved, and a bit of an easy save for Gamar, but what a short opportunity.
Would that have been special to have Woodhouse score a shorty in this game?
Blakely to DiChiavi. Outside step on McPhee, goes around the net. 4 seconds left, and the penalty is now over as it's a 1-on-1, potentially 3-on-1 now. McPhee tries to get to the net, but Hatanaka can't get over the poke check of Moretto. Noah Blakely stops up, banned on the pass, and battled hard into the boards by Raposo.
Raposo's getting lucky. He's not getting a call. That was a for sure a roughing penalty, and the referee's letting that one go. It was right in front of the Welland bench.
Malik Power dances around Woodhouse, falls down at the blue line, but almost kept in. Liam Van Loon puts it into the feet of McPhee, who falls down along with Hobbs, and is an icing call against the Junior Canadians.
A lot of extracurriculars going on. Raposo, he was tangled with a Canadian right in front of their bench, and at first it was just I'm getting myself untangled from the other guy, and as he goes by, he's having some words with Keith Osborne. Maybe, if not, he's having it with one of the Canadians on the bench. And then after the fact, he just shoves him over. I'm actually surprised it wasn't called.
Few players on that shift just looked like they were trying to audition for the wrestling team. They were just grappling each other to the ground. McPhee, great keeping with his backhand, and Luke Croucher tries to find some space as Eric Nelson pushes him off to the boards, and it's McPhee throwing his deflected by Croucher!
Kept it at the line, a nice play by Caleb McPhee, who takes a simple shot. It was a low one and a high tip from Croucher, who has played so well. He's actually playing with Van Loon and Kyle Kennery on that shift. They do very good work to get it in, and he tips the high shot, and finally a 1-0 lead, and that's the kind of goal it was going to have to take to beat Gramar.
So there's finally a goal in this series. Luke Croucher on a deflection that Gramard let it go through his foul, but he didn't see that tip coming, and Avalanche come back the other way right off the faceoff draw, and Adam Mayer pokes it away from Nick Bisser. 8:18 left in the second period as the Canadians trying to get that puck out, diving to get the puck was Adam Mayer, but it's Nick Bisser who banks it off the glass, put back in. It's would have been a hand pass had Luke Bro touched it. Charles Gramard leaves it. Liakakos over a crowd. Oh, McEachran gets run into. Here comes another race shot. What a pass! And Matthew Giannini tops it up shortly after the Croucher goal got them ahead.
That was a great pass, I believe, from Brendan Ryland, who was going down the left side wing. He beat him beautifully in Giannini. That was only about a minute later, and suddenly the Canadians have tied it, and it's a 1-1 game. Just goes to show you, playoff hockey, anything can happen.
Unfortunately for Dugas, he hasn't had nearly as much to face in this game as opposed to Charles Gramard. There seems to be a puck that was still left from the warm-up in the net, so the referee goes to fish that one out. Now 2 goals in this series, 1 from each side. Put down by the hand of Kaylee McPhee. Jumping up on it is Anthony Gregg, who falls down, and DiChiavi tries to spin out in front. No one there to tip it. Morello getting pressured by Woodhouse. Woodhouse tries to push him along the boards, not strong enough to take Moretto. Moretto pushes it up to Minovsky. Minovsky shot just misses Ryan Dugas' glove. Woodhouse tries to arrow it, just missing was Mike Cabral. Cabral reverses it, bounces out in front, and bailing out his goal was Roberto Moretto. That puts on a missing blocker in the post.
Josh Sherratt goes for a little spin to get the puck. I don't know if he was going behind the net or in front, but he goes off the side of the net, and it comes straight in front of the goal. Luckily, there was no Avalanche there to cash in.
Avalanche are still offside, and the referee deems it to be an intentional one, so now it's coming right down to the left of Ryan Dugas.
So the 2 goals were 1 goal by Luke Croucher and 1 by Iannini. The Croucher goal was a beautiful tip, and the other one was a 2-on-1 for Iannini. No chance for either goaltender. So no fault of the goalies, but it's a 1-1 game. It is their fault that it's a low goal scoring game, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Assistant number 3, Kaylee McPhee at 11:27.
Kaylee McPhee tries to battle on the boards. Paolo takes him, and McPhee reverses to Macklin. Turned over by Ballard. He dances, can't get around of Macklin McPhee, and here he comes for a skate. McPhee tries to find McKinney. This line is looking to get some more energy going, but it's turned over, and Malik Powell goes 1-on-1. Powell right into Dugas, who smartly covers up. And this is a time where the Avalanche can't be backing on their heels. The Welland Canadians have some good, speedy, skilled players that can easily make this game a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, and you just kind of got to forget that the fact it's a tie game again. So play as if it's 0-0 like it was earlier on, and stick to what you were doing. Maybe shore up a little bit defensively, because that's what led to the first goal. And the Avalanche should be fine for the rest of the game, but you can tell Welland is not just going to go away. They've been pretty good in the second period.
Kyle Kennedy across the blue line, lost it. Raposo lost his stick at the center ice, and he had to go retrieve it. Liakakos spins around to Nick Bisser. 5:37 left in the second period as Liam Van Loon intercepts in center ice. Noah Blakely across, finds Moretto. Hobbs. Moretto has it, backhand over the net. And that was Taylor McEachern that almost had a golden opportunity. Raposo battling hard in the corner. He falls down. Blakely falls on top of him, and then the referee blows the whistle dead.
A little bit of a hook from Raposo after the fact, and probably wasn't happy with Blakely having. They're still making a couple words, but nothing more likely to happen as they get a little closer. Not exactly sure what they're mad about, but Raposo pointing to his mask, maybe felt he got a couple shots or something in the corner. But it's been like that a lot in the game. There's been a couple pairs going off. And Blackley seems to be in a lot, and Hobbs also. He's another guy that has been getting under the Avalanche skin. Him and Woodhouse have been going at it all night.
Face-off won by Grigg, and it's deflected off of the skate of Bridgewater. Woodhouse. He leaves it for Bridgewater, tries to find someone in front, but it's tipped away by Grimard. Robertson down low to Bridgewater. Back to Robertson. Shot just missed out in front. Tanner Granecki pinched up once more. Puck thrown down low by Woodhouse, and Nick Bisser Can't get it out as another keep-in from Robertson. Cabral has Bonecki. Takes a shot deflected by the stick of Giannini. Puck deflected by Cabral after an attempted clear from Rylett. And the Avalanche have it at their own blue line. Bridgewater with a head of steam. Bridgewater out in front trying to find Cabral in the slot who couldn't tip it. Woodhouse to Cabral. Lost off his backhand. It's intercepted by Bridgewater. Cabral tries to dance around McEachern, who's trying to play defense.
This has been a great shift. They're fully in the zone for over a minute now.
Shot by Dirk Stadig. It was blocked out from Woodhouse. Keeps it back in. What a beautiful keep-in from Woodhouse. Tries to find someone in front. Oh, and a big check from Cabral and McEachern. And he's getting penalized for that.
And unfortunately, what a great shift culminates in a penalty going against. Usually you think that'd be the lone Canadian to retire, but no, it's Cabral reaching in an undisciplined play at the opposing goal. There's no need to do that. And that's going to be the third or fourth power play for the lone Canadians tonight.
Ballard facing off against Luke Crutcher. Crutcher tries to push it forward, does, but the Canadians recover. DiChiavi to Moretto. Shot came in, it just missed the glove of Dugas and rings around the boards, right back down into Welland's end. Moretto, stretch pass to Noah Blakely. McPhee spins, dumps it right back down, and the Canadians once again have to regroup. 3 minutes left in the second period, 1:20 in the power play. DiChiavi to borrow a high-rising shot, missed Dugas, and they can't recover after Anthony Good couldn't find that puck.
And that was not a very smart shot. If you take that shot, you're missing it, and it goes all the way out of the zone. You want to take low shots that have a lower chance of bouncing all the way out of your zone.
Giannini to Moretto, can't wind up as he's got Mayer in front of him. Pass off to DiChiavi. Moretto to DiChiavi in his feet. Down low, it's Rylett. Comes out in front, high shot, tipped away. It's right in front of Dugas. And here come the Avalanche. Hadanaka has Mayer on the other side. Mayer tips all the way across sinker mode. That might have been going high. Almost by Hadanaka, but what a short opportunity.
I'm almost certain that one was going over the net, but Gramard had no idea Hadanaka was still on the prowl. Lucky for him, he got it away.
But a quick shot just fanned on after Anthony Gigg tried to take a rebound swing at it, and there's 10 seconds left on the power play.
What a very eventful power play. Both teams getting some great chances to score. The best one going to the Welland Canadians, but very close was that Hadanaka almost steal on Gramard.
Power play over. Henry dumps it down, and Liam Van Loon's getting on, but he gets it poked away beautifully by Nelson. McEachern has Giannini with him, but he shoots it on Dugas, who gloves it with 1:27 left in the second period. First half of that power play was a little uneventful. Last half, though, very, very eventful.
By the last half, it was probably 20 seconds worth of power play time that ended up in a 2-on-1 shorthanded. And then right as the penalty was over, Liam Van Loon coming off, and he was right at the blue line. The puck just bounced on him, and he couldn't go, because that would have been another 2-on-1 coming down for the Avalanche.
Dirk Stadig. Van Loon rushes up. Van Loon gets it, tips it right past Liam Anderson. Van Loon tries to find a man in the slot. Woodhouse got it off the backhand. And Macklin McPhee is now playing on the line with Woodhouse and Van Loon. A bit of line juggling coming from Ken.
That's what happens, unfortunately, when your team gets shorthanded. Some guys have to rest.
Shot from Stadig came easily to Gramard, and it's kept in, almost kept in by Dirk Stadig. He thought it was kept in, and he kept going.
That was really close, but linesman Hardy was right there, and he was able to just see it go out. Not missing it this time like in the first period, where the puck was well offside, but
Dirk Static was trying to show off his soccer skills with a kick in.
He did a very good job of it. He kicked it right in. It would have been a great scoring opportunity.
Unfortunately, it was about a foot offside.
Yeah. Nice pun.
Unintended. Malcolm McPhee across to Tanner Branecki, jumping up. Branecki tries to find someone, but he can't, and Van Loon picks up the loose puck. Dirk Static down low at the circle. Woodhouse, 33 seconds, turns it over to Giannini, who tries to race around. His man does, stumbles a bit, finds Bissell, who jumped up and he falls hard into the boards. Avalanche almost got burned there, but they managed to get back defensively as Macklin McPhee tries to find Branecki. Instead, it goes over to Dirk Static with 8 seconds left. Static finds McPhee, looks for one last opportunity. Easy save for Grimard as the horn goes for the second period. Finally, some scoring. Luke Croucher followed shortly by Matthew Giannini. An eventful second period that will hopefully translate into an even more eventful third period. Join us after the short break. The third period here in the Morgan Firestone Arena. The Avalanche and Canadians tied 1-1 after 40 minutes. I'm Eric Howlett. With me is Hayden Howlett. And this period is definitely a make-or-break period for both sides.
Yeah, no, the first period was mostly the Avalanche, and they were saved, and the home team was definitely bailed out by Charles Clark. Second period was a little bit more even. The Canadians were putting a lot more pressure on. Both teams got a goal. Grimard and Dugas both had to be great in that second period, but this is the period where all it's going to take is one goal. If someone can score the one goal in the third period, I think that's all it's going to take, and I believe that this game will end before overtime hits. I'm going to say it's probably going to be just a 2-1 win. It's going to be a pretty 2-1 win. And there are many different players I'm thinking for the Welland Canadians. Tanner McEachern's had a good game, and I definitely got to go with someone from that country line. They have been so good tonight. One of those three, I think, is going to be able to pot one for the Ancaster Avalanche, and we'll see if I'm right.
If I was a betting man, I'd put my money on one of the McPhees. Those two have been playing a heck of a game tonight. McKillen on the defensive end with some good block shots, good outlet passes, and keeping that puck in on the blue line. Macklin McPhee, he's been physical. He has accumulated a penalty in this game, but he's been turning the puck over and really putting his mark on this game. Whistle goes as this third period's about to start. Face-off won by Hadanaka. Dirk Static to Raposo. Kennering just out of his reach. Sherratt right into Dugas, who lets it go to Raposo. Raposo to Hadanaka. Gets pressured by Tanner McEachern. Hadanaka across to Dirk Static. Turns it over to Blakely, and Hobbs has it. Hobbs to Blakely, out in front, McEachern! Shot off, he might have failed on it a little bit, and McEachern with an early opportunity.
The man I called for scoring the possible winner in this game was left alone, and you're right, he did fan on that backhander, and horrible turnover from Static, and unfortunately it was mostly caused by the fact that his feet just came right up from underneath him.
Kalen McPhee to Woodhouse. He's had a pretty good game tonight. Van Loon, shot, bounces off of a player, and Woodhouse couldn't find it until he and the puck were both behind the net. Stretch pass from Anderson, just missing Ryan Dugas, and icing coming to Welland.
need to thank our
It's almost as Tanner McEachern heard you right before that face-off. He thought, I'm going to score just for you.
Yeah, it was really close. And you see Luke Croucher out there. These lines have been changed a lot. Woodhouse with Bridgewater and Croucher right now. And Croucher, the right winger on this line. So he was centering the McKinney and Macklin McPhee line, but maybe Ken Peroff has liked what he's seen, so he's moved him up in the depth charts.
Luke Croucher battling hard along the boards. He eventually wins it back. Chip off of the stick of Giannini after a shot came from Caleb McPhee. And just unfurling themselves in the corner is Anderson and Yanni Scropoulos.
That's Ben Woodhouse.
Ben Woodhouse, that is. They have a similar face shield and similar physique.
That is true. They're not terribly big guys who both have that plastic face shield right in front. So
Nick Visser on the face-off win, bounces it out. Giannini can't get it, but races after it. It's put across the ice and stolen by Luke Croucher. He's on the outside. Finds Bridgewater, scores! Matthew Bridgewater!
And although I said Luke Croucher might be one to score, he makes one heck of a play right at the blue line. As the Welland Canadians were trying to get out of their own zone, he goes to one knee, Croucher does, and he steals the puck. He goes in, he beats the late coming in Bridgewater, and he rips it off the post and in. No chance for Gamard on that play. What a phenomenal pass from Croucher, and just an all-around great play from number 9.
He now has a goal and an assist tonight. And he's been a big player and a big contributor for the Avalanche. As he's been hard to contain, especially with his speed and his not so well-known physicality.
Yeah, a lot of these little guys like to hit for the Avalanche.
Adam Mayer has it. Arrows it to Caleb McPhee, but he wasn't expecting it. It bounces past him. Glenecki has Demeski surveying him. Coming up, Adam Mayer dumps it right onto Bernard, and he covers up for a whistle.
Croucher. And number 72, Benjamin Woodhouse, 147.
Ben Woodhouse getting the third assist on that goal. Face off to the right of Charles Bernard as Hadanaka and Bullard wait for the puck to drop. Bullard pushes it forward, but Robertson steps up and wins the battle. He and his number 6 go together along the corner. Hadanaka to Robertson. He's pressured by Minovsky. Minovsky waiting for that puck to be won by Nelson, who's really pushing hard on Hadanaka. Shot from Robertson deflected, just missed wide. Noah Ballard. Malik Pyro just misses as he tried to glove it down. Van Loon puts it to Cabral. Cabral gets sandwiched and he ends up with the puck. Cabral finds Van Loon, fanned it right into Gamard. It might have taken a piece of power, but what a pass into the center ice and then to the center of the zone by Cabral.
That was a great play by Cabral. He was sandwiched between two Canadians. He somehow gets the puck back, and great vision finds Van Loon in the slot. Unfortunately, Van Loon fans it. He does get it on goal, but it ends up being a rather simple stop for Gamard to make.
Face-off won by the Avalanche as Dirk Static gets rubbed out along the boards. Yanni Scropoulos battling hard with Josh Sherratt, who ends up banking it off the glass and out.
Our 50-50 draw winner for tonight is number 2439449 for a total prize of $144. Please see Kelly
Luke Croucher back at center between Scropoulos and Bro.
It looks like he's getting some more ice time. Well-deserved ice time.
Blackley dumps it. Skipped up by Tanner McEachern, who tries to race in, but he's pushed off by Derek Raposo. Aerial pass missing Yanni Scropoulos, who didn't even have a chance to grab him that one. That was waist high after it hit the boards.
Yeah, that was a really difficult pass, a hard one from Bro, but there's practically no way that Skroplis is going to be able to knock that down and keep possession. So it ends up being an icing call.
Dirk Static picks up the puck off the face-off rip from Croucher. Yanni Skropoulos. Luke Croucher has it. Getting pressured by Giannini, who shoves him off, but it's Dirk Static who picks up the loose puck. Static tries to find Stone, and it just missed the forward post after it took a deflection. Giannini. Aerial off of Bro, and it missed the net. Croucher drops it for Static, who finds McPhee. Kalen McPhee protects it against Liam Anderson. Yanni Skropoulos reverse to Tanner Bernecki. Woodhouse behind the net, lost it, and Bissell gets hit by Yanni Skropoulos. Nick Bro chasing after it, and it's DiChiavi just can't keep it in get it out. McPhee once again at the blue line keeps it in. Woodhouse to Skropoulos, who exchanges with McPhee at the point, and Bill scores! A beautiful deflection, 3-1 Avalanche.
That all starts from great offense and great forechecking from the Avalanche. They were making some great plays, and Kalen McPhee jumping in, keeping the puck in, Skropoulos, Bro, all of them doing wonderful work down low and along the boards, which I said all night has been their bread and butter. They've been doing it so well. They've been winning most of the battles, and those battles won, yet with puck possession, they get it back to the point. Shot taken by McPhee, and a wonderful tip in front by Nick Bro.
Now the Avalanche have a 2-goal lead, one of the most dreaded leads in the game as they try to get back into the zone. They did for a second, but it was poked off of the stick of Bridgewater. He gets a cross-ice pass. Aerials it, and Woodhouse gets there first. Leaves it for Kennery. Kennery gets hit hard by Eric Nelson. Woodhouse battling hard with Moretto, and Eric Nelson with a bit of a dirty hit on Kyle Kennery, no call. Crisscross pass, and it's Bridgewater who goes in deep on Moretto. Moretto fouls over after taking his man, and that puck hit the meshing, whistle blown.
And as we've seen, all 3 goals that have beaten Grimard, 2 of them have been tips. There's been absolutely no chance on those goals for Grimard. And like I said, those are the only ways we're going to be here tonight. He's been so good. And Ryan Dugas at the other man, he's probably feeling a little bored. He hasn't had much happen to him in this third period, which is a good thing. You don't want the goalie to be busy.
Bouncing in front after it took a deflection, and Grimard had to be quick to stop it. Macklin McPhee circles. He puts it along the boards for Jordan Simpson. McPhee back to Simpson, who puts it down low to Mayer. Finds Dirk Static in front, but he had his stick tied up, and it's shot deflected off the sticks, and another save from Grimard.
Another beautiful tip and a high slide, and Grimard got his skate on it and just barely tapped wide on the rebound by the Avalanche.
Adam Mayer dumps it into the Welland end. Liakakos. McKinney gets there first, turns it over. Noah Barlow getting pressured well by Adam Mayer, but he ends up with the puck. Adam Mayer fouls over, pushes his man down, and Minovsky can't go any further as he's dumped late by McKinney. Hadanaka has Bissell on him. Stops up, spins around. Pass it down low to Nick Bro, the recent goal scorer for the Avalanche. Bernecki throws it down low. Van Loon getting tied up, so Hadanaka picks up the puck. Intercepted by Powell, but it goes off the end of his stick instead, and the Canadians try to break out. Powell flies over, has to dump the puck and go for a change. Just over 7 minutes left gone in this third period.
Welland is hanging on for their lives right now. The Avalanche are all over them. They can barely get the puck out of the zone before it comes right back at them as the the speed now really killing the defense for the Welland Canadians. They just can't handle it right now.
Puck chipped up, Liam Van Loon chasing after, grabs it. Nice move, Van Loon! Only trying to tuck it around, but the aggressive play from Charles Grimard forced him wide.
He might have been more well off to go around than on the wraparound. He had him dead to rights on the other side.
Robertson, quick pass, and that puck went behind the bench off of the advertisements on the attempted clear from Bryce Robertson.
And Tanner Shepard, just for good marks, broke him down, showing that he's ready and willing as he might get tomorrow's game. Although with how well Dugas has played and how relatively quiet his night has been, it's very likely he could also get the start tomorrow. That'll obviously be a game-time decision.
Woodhouse loses the face-off draw. Blocked out in front by Anthony Grigg. Croucher lost it on the boards. Grigg shot back by Croucher. What a sacrificial play.
Oh, he's had such a good night. The puck is finding him in every single way. Defensively, he makes a great block, and he could have had almost a hat trick tonight. He's been that good for the Avalanche.
Croucher. Hit. Nelson didn't send him to the ice, but it was a felt hit from Woodhouse against Woodhouse. Johnny Scrapless battling hard along the back behind the net. Raposo rings it around for Woodhouse. Woodhouse at the top of the circles takes the shot. Grimard calmly grabs the puck.
And this is where Grimard needs to settle back in. He's been beaten, but with no fault of his own, by the Avalanche 3 times now. Like I said, 2 of them have been deflections, so goalie never has a chance on those. And if it wasn't for him, this game could easily be out of control. And Welland can thank their blessings that he's been so good tonight that it's only a 2-goal lead. And they need to get back onto the offense. If they can't, they only have 11 and a half minutes right now to try and score 2 goals, which 40 hasn't been enough. So we'll see if they're going to need another 11.
Big pass intercepted at the center ice, and Adam Mayer has it. He's got a defenseman, Dirk Stade, going to the front of the net, but it's deflected wide. Moretto. Indirect pass, and getting there first was Bauer, but it was an icing call.
Alright, it's the last night tonight for Frostbite. He's going to go ahead and into his cave back in mountains of Himalayas. So make some noise for some t-shirts and some skate t-shirts and towels and stuff like that.
Adam Mayer facing off against Ballard. He loses it to Ballard, picked up by Moretto. Turned over on a bad pass, and Bernecki's the one who turned it over. Bernecki down low. Michael McPhee off a bounce off the bottom of the boards, and that goes right back behind the net of Dugas.
And Tanner Bernecki doing what he does best along the boards.
Bad deflection out in front, and luckily Dugas was paying attention.
These boards, they're not helping anybody right now. Ancaster are getting really unlucky with 2 awful bounces. But Tanner Bernecki, right before that, steps up, and he makes another really good play along the boards. He's been the best player at doing that all night for both teams.
Dumped in by the Avalanche. Bridgewater first on the attack. Bridgewater has a centering pass to flick out in front. Just missed by Raposo, and here goes Malik Powell. Dirk Stadig is back. Powell gets puck checked away beautifully by Dirk Stadig. Bridgewater. McKinney going to the net. Nice curl drive. Bridgewater lands strong by Grimard.
Oh, what a great move by Bridgewater. He just faked, goes to the inside. And Liakakos really couldn't do anything. He went sliding right by him. And then a great backhand save off of Bridgewater by Grimard again.
McKinney lost his Liakakos, trying to find someone else. And it's Dirk Stadig who jumps up once more. Dirk Stadig, another nice move. Tries to backhand, but feigned it. Might have gotten the stick of Liakakos on his hands. And it's back out as the Avalanche have to tag up.
That's the second rush in a row that the Avalanche have gone straight to the middle onto their backhands.
Offside, and Kyle Carey must not have heard the screaming. He touches up.
That's going to bring the face-off all the way back down to the app zone as another intentional offside.
those are some of the plays. As hockey players ourselves, sometimes you get so in the moment you just don't hear the screaming offside, offside.
Yeah, or you hear it, you just don't process it. You think someone's just screaming. Kind of natural in sports for someone screaming something. Doesn't always register what exactly is being said. But you gotta listen for those kind of things.
Hadanaka almost on all fours, but it's eventually picked up by Matt Hobbs. Robertson pinning him to the glass, does it effectively, and the Avalanche have the puck. Scrapless across to Robertson. He fans one, but still gets to Van Loon. Van Loon spins around, and Yanni Scrapless steals it. Anderson stick checking him. Blakely comes in late, and he's pinning Scrapless, who gets free. Anderson loses it to Van Loon. Van Loon cut out in front, and Scrapless had it just go under his stick. Blakely around Robertson. Robertson shoves him hard, and Blakely can't get the puck. Scrapless out of his reach, tipped out in front. Robertson with an active stick stopped Noah Blakely. Tanner McEachern can't crawl in his feet. Hadanaka picks it up. 8:21 left in the third period. 3-1 the score for the Avalanche. Yanni Scrapless hit the stick of Giannini, and it's Ballard who gets in the way, turns it over. Simpson battling hard, but Giannini has it, and he gets hit by Scrapless. Shot deflected off of the stick of Simpson, and Liam Van Loon goes 1-on-2, now 1-on-3, as his mates go for a change. Van Loon with a reverse hit off of Josh Charette.
It's a nice reverse hit. He's a pretty strong guy. Not a lot of these Avalanche players are big, but they can play physically if they need to.
Butler screen shot that found Dugas, and that's the second time tonight that Charette has gone in trying to pin Van Loon to the boards, and he just gets him the shoulder.
Like I said, a lot of these Avalanche players are sneaky with how powerful they can be, but there was that last shift that Yanni Scrapless and Van Loon were out, and Scrapless did absolutely phenomenal work once again along the boards. It's been their bread and butter all night once again, and number 88 was showing that even though, once again, he's a small guy, but he can battle, and that's what you find a lot with smaller guys. They can be a little bit feisty with the puck, and he did a wonderful job of keeping the puck in and battling throughout that entire shift.
Welland turns that puck over at the line, and it's dumped in onto the chest of Dugas.
This is where Welland is going to need to play for the next 7.5 minutes. If they don't, well, they're already down by 2. And might be a little interesting. We'll see if Keith Osborne goes for an early ball on Grimard, because they do need the 2 goals, and last thing you want to do is start off a round 1 series down by 1.
Croucher gets hit after a pinching Moretto came up. Bridgewater reverses, but it's kept in. Dirk Static gets hit, falls down, turnover, shot came on Dugas, but Bridgewater's there to chip it out, and they don't manage to get it out. And here he comes. Dishiavi just missed a shot. Canadians are getting really aggressive and turning that puck over at the Avalanche blue line.
And that's what they need to do. They need to get on the offense.
Puck missed by the Avalanche, and Adam Mayer chips it around the Canadian player. It's offside, not able to keep it in was Nathan Galen.
That was really close up the blue line, but the ref was right beside Galen as he gloved it down. He must have deemed it just offside with the hand. Yeah, good on Welland. They really need to get on the offense, and they're doing exactly what the Avalanche are doing. And if the Avs turn the puck over like this, and usually you see this with the team that's down, they get more aggressive, and that's what Welland needs to do.
Face-off draw won by Hadanaka. Tanner Bernecki leaves it from McKinney. Tries to play pitch and catch with Bernecki, but it's intercepted by the Welland Canadians. McKinney protecting the puck along the boards. Cabral to Tanner Bernecki at the blue line. Hadanaka finds an open man, takes the deflection off of Cabral's stick, and Hadanaka's forced to get to the puck. McKinney leaves it for Cabral after he gets pinned. Cabral spins away from Hobbs. Trying to deke around his man was McKinney, but it's deflected away by Bisser. McEachern just behind him, and Bernecki dumps it back down into center ice. McEachern, linesman thought he was offside, so he blows it down. 5:55 left in the third period, and Welland Canadians need some sort of spark. What do you think they need to do to beat the Avalanche at their game?
Well, they need to do exactly what the Avalanche are doing, but the unfortunate part for them is it seems the Avalanche are just a faster team. Welland is having a hard time making passes and getting into the zone. They dump it in, but the Avalanche are easily able to get to the puck and have time to make a play. What they need to do is, and looks like another hand pass may be called there, they need to get into the zone, get on the stick, get on the puck, get on the body, do something, but they need time on attack, and they're just not getting it right now.
Nightfall leads series 2.
Van Woodhouse tries to win the draw by Butler, taps it to his man, but it's intercepted, and the Avalanche have the puck with Raposo. McPhee batted down, but the Avalanche, and it's Ben Woodhouse in the corner. Kyle Kennery, Macklin McPhee, down to Derek Raposo, over to Kalen McPhee. McPhee's shot deflected easily by Liam Anderson. Kalen McPhee took a bounce off of Kennery, who took a shot, and it was deflected low wide away by Charles Grimard. Raposo keeps it in. Woodhouse has it. Gets hit hard by Sherratt, but he ends up getting back up and winning the puck battle. Liam Anderson comes in to take him, and Macklin McPhee has it.
Another miraculous shit from the Avalanche, and of course, Macklin McPhee, Kyle Kennery, and Ben Woodhouse out there, and every time Macklin McPhee's out, he seems to be hard on the forecheck.
Killian's shot just missed wide. Woodhouse gets there first. Along the blue line, pass it across to Macklin, who has the puck chipped off of the stick of Matthew Giannini.
And that was a rope-a-dope kind of shift. Welland couldn't do anything. They couldn't get the puck out. It's actually astonishing how good the board play for the Avalanche has been tonight. They've been so good at doing the cycle game. They've been doing it all game, and it has just stumped the Welland Canadians. They cannot defend against this amazing cycle game that's going on for the Avalanche.
And those kind of games are definitely a wear and tear against the opponent, as that might be why they're down.
We've had those kind of games before. They are not fun to play in.
Puck chipped up by Bernecki. Bro misses it. Anthony Griggs has it. Great back check from Bro, forces Griggs to dump it in. Adam Mayer, just over 4 left in the third period, has it to the right of Ryan Dugas. Nicholas Bro. Skropos puts it down with the stick, passes it across way too high for Dirk Skadig, but the Avalanche managed to still keep it in. Never mind, the linesman says it was offside, so the Avalanche had to go for a change instead.
I'm not sure if that was a pass from Skropos or just a really, really bad shot. That's how hard that pass looked. It looked like he was shooting it, and that was shoulder height. There's no way Bro's going to get that.
And if he does, there's a chance it might be called a high stick.
Exactly. It's a very difficult pass to make. At that point, you might as well shoot it.
McKinney shoots right into the body of Charles Grimard, and Morello gives McKinney a shot afterwards.
Maybe Skropos was just returning the favor when Bro threw him the high pass, the high hard one earlier that ended up in an icing in this period.
Luke Croucher loses the face-off draw to Matthew Hobbs. Tanner McEachern. Robertson got in the way, and Robertson has it again after a bit of a bowling ball collision. Came from Nick Bisser. Puck chipped up by Tanner McEachern, as Noah Blakely is hard on Robertson. McKinney gets run into by McEachern, tipped back in by the Canadians, and it's gloved by Ryan Dugas.
Ryan Dugas is really good at his rebound control. That's another shot that bounces. It's a rather simple stop to make, but the most important thing is he's not leaving many rebounds. And that's been really frustrating Welland as well, because when they get in, if their shots are going on net, Duke is just seeing them, stopping them, and he's not letting a rebound out. That makes it really hard for the offense to work when you're one and done.
And the Avalanche ice the puck. Faceoff's going to come right back to the right of Dugas.
And it looks like Grimard, I don't know, he looked like he was coming out of his net maybe to start going to the bench, but I think it's a mistake not to pull him now. With 2.5, you need 2 goals. It's unlikely you'll get 2 in the last minute.
Macklin McPhee getting chased by Brendan Riley, dumps it in. Cabral goes in. Woodhouse to Kalen McPhee, chipped by Macklin, and Woodhouse tries to keep the cycle going, but it's intercepted by Noah Ballard. Giannini misses the inside deke, and Josh Sherratt with a far reach grabs the puck and bad pass to Anderson as Cabral was there, and almost turned over. High stick from Bernecki, not willing to touch it, lets Liam Anderson grab it. Anderson spins back around. 2 minutes left in the third period. Most likely going to see Gerard come to the bench sometime soon.
Might be on the next whistle if it's close to the Avalanche zone.
Granecki passed a little bit ahead of Woodhouse, who deflects it, gets a bit of the hip of Josh Sherratt, ends up going back to the bench now for a change. Raposo steps up and negates that breakout.
It's a great step up from Derek Raposo. The Avalanche are really aggressive with their defensive posture.
Ken Piroff had his hand in the air asking for an icing call that the linesman agreed to call. This is not a situation you want to be in if you're Keith Osborne. You want to face something in the other end so you can pull a goalie.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants, and I don't know if it would have helped have him out earlier. At this point, Welland needs 6 skaters out there if they want to get some offense. Still practically nothing for Dugas to do in this period.
Great play from DiCiavi to poke that puck away from
Grimard was just about to go, but the Avalanche got possession again.
Kyle Kennery across center, dumped it back in. Hadanaka goes there first as Grimard missed that puck behind his net. Back out in front, he wasn't quite back in position. A quick shot came from Mayer and it missed the net.
This is the zone the Avalanche want to play in for this last minute. And a penalty, a bad one from Hadanaka, and another penalty that's going to negate the first one Hadanaka was about to get. Really undisciplined play. I believe that was Anthony Gregg who was going to take maybe a boarding or a hit from behind. That Hadanaka was going to take a similar call.
Good sportsmanship there from Greg as he and Hadanaka come together, give each other a little tap, saying, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. It didn't look aggressive. It didn't look like he was trying to do any harm, but that negates the power play. But Keith Osborne is telling the referees, hey, the face-off's to be the other end, but I think it's going to be right outside of the Canadian zone. Since they took the first power penalty, I believe it's going to go right outside their blue line. And if they get the puck, you know that Grimard is going to the bench. They only have a minute and 4 seconds.
Grimard's going to the bench now. Keith Osborne pulling Grimard as they're going to be just outside of the Avalanche zone.
Interesting why the face-off came all the way out there when the first penalty was going to the Canadians.
Face-off won by the Canadians, and Josh Sherratt aggressively jumps up. McPhee cuts him off. Last minute of play. Giannini shot deflected. Took a piece of McEachern, and it's a great keeper from Josh Sherratt. Back in McPhee, a high stick, and it's called down, so face-off most likely going to come in the Avalanche end.
This is a little too late for the Welland Canadians at this point. They're finally getting offense, but they have 45 seconds left. It's unlikely they'll score 2 goals, but hey, it's playoff hockey. Anything can happen in the playoffs.
And the thing with that last setup that I had, it looked like they were panicking. It looked sloppy. They couldn't get the puck on their stick to stay.
And it looks like Keith Osborne is calling the timeout, probably to draw up a play. They'll need to come up with something right off the draw. What they're going to have to hope for is a clean face-off way to the point, a shot, get it to the net, either hope it goes in or go for the rebound. They'll have to do that quickly as possible to get this next goal. The better off they'll be for the rest of the game, but they have under a minute.
It looks like Greg and Hadenacker go into their respective dressing rooms as they both seem to be done for the night.
Yeah, because they got coincidentals, even if a team has scored, both guys are going to end up going to the...
The only way they would come back is if somehow Welland managed to get two.
Yeah, if overtime looms, then they can come back on the ice. But at this point, less than a minute, both players were just sent to the dressing room.
So Luke Croucher will be the defending centerman against Matt Hobbs. Hobbs loses it to Croucher. McPhee falls down trying to get the puck. Kept in by Liam Anderson, but it's Luke Croucher. Gets slashed. Croucher scores! And he puts this game away with his second goal of the night.
His second goal, his third point, absolutely deserving. Croucher, the best player next to maybe Macklin, McPhee. Dawson McKinney got to throw his hat in there too. He's had such a great game, and he was the main reason they won tonight.
And what a way to start off a playoff round. 2 goals, 1 assist, 3-point night for Luke Croucher.
And a great way to start is we were coming into the third period tied, and suddenly 3 goals later, one of them being an empty net, of course. It's now 4-1.
Nico puts it up. Liakakos pushes Cabral off the puck, who dubs it down. Canadians looking to try and get something going before the last 10 seconds of the period. Nick Rowe smartly goes behind his net, passes it off, and the Ancaster Avalanche win game 1 here at the Morgan Forest Arena, 4-1 against the Welland Junior Canadians.
And it might have been 4-1, but could have been much more an absolutely dominant performance from the Avalanche. They well deserved this win.
Avalanche score 3 in the third period in order to get their 4-1 victory after 2 periods of only 2 goals for both sides. Avalanche will be in Welland tomorrow for Game 2. Join us for some more Avalanche hockey.